the picture which I want to share to all of you as someone who's coming fresh from India is that today there is a great deal of, I would say, confidence and enthusiasm in society. That a lot of people feel that if they look at the last 5 years, definitely last 10 years, their lives have changed in very, very clearly definable ways. And they also understand in many ways today that it has actually lifted the entire country up, and it has given us actually a much higher, bigger ambitions, a stronger sense of being able to get things done. But any country, finally needs inspiration. And often our inspiration are our own achievements. That, I spoke to you about COVID. I think a lot of people took pride. People went about asking each other, "Acha, aapne kaun sa vaccine liya?" So I think I was, because I was of that age group where I got mine early. So, actually people asked you, and that pride of taking a made in India vaccine or an invented in India vaccine was very, very strong. The same thing I saw when we had the Chandrayaan landing. When I had actually a double privilege. Sometimes there's some perks to being foreign minister. You are at the right moment with Modi ji to witness the right thing. So the first was the day actually Chandrayaan, the landing. We were in South Africa. So there was this BRICS meeting going on, and everybody knew the moon landing was coming. And, when I went there, I thought, okay, naturally, as an Indian, our minds were on it. I didn't realize actually how much it would, how much the rest of the world would be looking at it. And in fact, at one stage, Prime Minister had stepped out and I was sitting in his place. I just happened, you are sitting, it was not my turn to talk. I happened to be looking a little bit above, like this, at the top of the room. And the South African president told me, he said, "Minister, landing is not yet, you don't have to look up." So, but that feeling was there with people. Then the landing took place. And that evening, there was a BRICS dinner. And there were about 40, because they'd invited a lot of other countries, most African presidents, prime ministers, many Arabs, many Asians, Latin Americans. Must have been about 40, 45. And when Prime Minister walked in, it was like, and it was absolutely spontaneous, nobody, the moment he walked in, that gathering of 45, 50 prime ministers, presidents, the foreign ministers, the officials, it was like a standing ovation. And again, what our host at that time said was, the landing may be yours, but the sense of achievement is with all of us. And that feeling today, that, and I could see, then again, as I said, I got a double experience here. We finished the trip, we went to Greece. And then Prime Minister decided that he must go and thank these scientists. So we actually, now you can see, I'm used to these red-eye flights. So how to stay fresh after landing. So we actually took the flight, landed in Bangalore, and he went from there to ISRO headquarters. And it was the core that I think maybe the 500, 700 people who were involved in the mission were all gathered out there. And actually in many ways it was amazing that when you looked at these people, how actually in a way normal they were. I mean, they had done something fantastic. And yet they sort of carried themselves so naturally. And it gave you really that feeling today, that what we are capable of. And that is today displaying itself in domain after domain. Again, I'm here not only in digital land, but also a land where, which was famous for telecom. Now, we did our 2G, 3G, 4G with collaborations. But look at 5G. We have actually, today we are deploying our own 5G stack. And we feel today that it's actually been an enormous technology barrier, which India has successfully crossed. So it could be moon, it could be health, it could be telecom, it could be sports. Again, it's, that sense of we can do it. I mean, why is it today that suddenly our sports performance has increased? I mean, one reason, yes, it is true. Government today gives much more attention and much more support to our sports person than they've ever had. But the fact is also that, there is a strong degree of self-motivation today in our country. That self-belief, that confidence that we have gone through tough times, we have made big changes in our lives, and that we can sort of aspire to bigger things. And as I said, once you do that, its impact I can see today in my own ministry. That somehow in the last decade, the world's been a very difficult place. That almost every year, something has gone wrong somewhere in the world. And because Indians today have made the world, for them, it's a global workplace. There is probably hardly any place where you don't have a community of some size. So when something goes wrong in the world, that sense of taking care of your community obviously immediately comes to mind. So, I can almost every year name at least one big operation that we have done. I mean, last year was two. There was Ajay in Israel and Kaveri in Sudan. Year before we had Ganga in Ukraine. So working backwards, we had Nepal earthquake, Maitri, we had Yemen, we had Operation Rahat. So, but again, as I said, that same system today, when it is motivated, when it is purposed, if you were to look at these operations, the airlines also get to work, the military, the Air Force gets to work, the Navy gets to work, the immigration people deal with it differently, the disaster response force, does its best. So suddenly you have actually different parts. This is the same system. What has changed is the leadership. What has changed is the motivation. What has changed is that self-belief. That very system today, and you can see today an Indian leaving the shores of India does it with does so with a confidence which they didn't have before. And they have that confidence that, whatever happens out there, there is a government which will look after me. And let me tell you, that's a very big feeling, because when we look at the state of the world, more and more Indians will explore global work opportunities. There will be students going abroad. There will be people, blue-collar workers. There will be professionals. There will be, people whose talents will be sought by companies across the world. So we have to give them that confidence. And we have shown in 10 years today how much of a difference we've been able to make, as I said, just by remote.
Stay with the Times of India for news breaks, analysis, interviews and events. We bring you stories from your neighborhood and from across the globe as well. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the like button and press the bell icon so you don't miss any of our videos.